Hello and welcome, beautiful medicine musicians, heart song carriers. So excited to get into these next juicy things. These things that we'll be going over are subtle, especially the hammering of the chords. It's something that's very subtle and oftentimes imperceivable by the average ear, but it really just helps to create a dynamic kind of movement, and it will help the rhythm. It brings like spaciousness to it. So hammering the chords is very simple. As when I started learning it, it was like an absolute game changer, and it also helps me to keep the rhythm. So what hammering chords is if you're on A minor, let's say for 8 bars, then on the right on the 4 of each beat, I would just lift up my fingers and then put them back down. So it's simply lifting up your fingers and then putting them down. So it's as if I was changing chords, but I'm just keeping the same chord. So I'll just do a little example. So I'm on capo 3 if you want to just have your guitar on capo 3 so we can match that tone. So you can see I'm just lifting it. And so really listen closely. This is me not hammering the chords. And now listen to it with hammering the chords. So it kind of has this do 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 do, kind of like, kind of creates this like bounce or this extra added rhythm that will then help. And then it's also keeping me that every 4 I'm lifting up my fingers, and if I'm changing the chords, then that's my movement. But then there's some songs that they will stay on the same chord for 8 bars, sometimes 16. So just simply lifting the fingers and dropping them back down will make it seem like there's a difference and there's a change, and it kind of, so essentially when you're hammering the chord, you're doing like essentially 1 or 2 strums, either an up or a down or one of each, and then it's making that sound. So you can see this is the A minor. That's what it sounds like. And then when it hammers, so there's a resonance that kind of holds, and then when I lift the finger, it slightly changes the resonance, and then I'm strumming once or twice with this open chord, and then when you put it back down, it creates a more full sound. So you're lifting it up, playing the open, and then when you put it back down, it really makes that chord, that A minor, really like pop, and it creates a boldness in the chord. So let's try A minor. We're hammering, and then C. And then G. And then D. E minor. So this is where the rhythm really comes in handy. If you need to jump back into rhythm or practice the rhythm, please do. And this will also help you practice the rhythm. So I'm essentially lifting up right before the 1. So in this strumming pattern, the down, down, up, down, down, up, the first is down, that's the 1. Down, down, up, down, up, 1, down, up, down, up, 1, down, up, down, up. So I'm lifting right before that first 1, so that when the 1 comes, I'm putting my fingers back on, and it's bold. And again, just want to remind you that the 1 is the most important part of the rhythm. It's like the pillar, like a post that's holding up your song, is that 1, and it's keeping the rhythm. So this, by hammering, it will create more emphasis on that 1. So we're in E minor, just. And so There's different ways to hammer as well. The way that I'm most comfortable with is just lifting up all of my fingers, but depending on who you talk to, and depending on the chord, depending on your style, your intentions, like I could also hammer C like this, just by lifting that pointer. It doesn't create that much of a dynamic, but I'm lifting my middle finger now. And then G, sometimes people will just lift this finger. So it's really up to you. Each finger that you will lift up will create a slight variation in the way that the chord sounds, especially if you lift up all the fingers, then it's just going to be open like that. And the slight difference, it will still be the same chord, but it will make that chord pop, and it will make your one really stand out, and it will kind of create this wave. So like songs are like waves with the rhythm, with the melody and everything, so the hammering of chords kind of creates this woo, and then it comes back. So it's kind of like really emphasizing that bass, so that one really stands out. So practice around with hammering. You can do it in any song, and you just want to lift up on the 4 so that on the 1 you're back on the chords, and that will pop. So practice that, practice it with your strumming, practice it with your songs. You can even practice it if you're still doing some of the vocal activations and just like playing around with the tones and the chords. Just practice hammering too until it becomes, now for me it's like second nature. I'm not thinking about hammering the chords when I'm playing. It's just a natural thing because it's like the way that my body moves. So that's another thing, is that the more your body moves and becomes involved, the more you're embodying the song, the more that it is a feeling, the more that feeling is then coming out. And it also helps to keep the song structured so that you follow the rhythm and everything like this. So play around with that. Let me know how it goes, and excited to for you to add that dynamic spectrum into your songs now. So I'll see you in the next lesson. That's all for this one. Thank you so much.